Your boss won't listen to you. Your spouse doesn't listen to you. Your kids barely know you're alive. But here at The Fan, we love and appreciate you.
Just when we learn to appreciate what a huge wussy you are.
This is the show for the people, by the people. It's The Fan Call-In Show.
Presented by the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Here are the leaders of the Lunatic Fringe, Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker.
Man, what a great Saturday it was to be a Buckeye. 14-7, Ohio State gets the win over Texas. And there are so many ways we can go with this, and so many ways. I'm excited to hear from you guys because this is what we made. This is what we wanted. This right here, this show right here is why we wanted to do the Fan Call-In Show, because we want to hear from all of you. We want you to tell us your thoughts on the game yesterday, what you saw, who stood out for you, all of those things. 614-821-9710 is the number. Again, 614-821-9710. And Scotty, you were obviously down there all day Friday. A lot of the day yesterday. I was down there for a little while on Friday. I was down there all day yesterday. I was at the game. So many. I've got my notepad here, you can see, with my red pen and my yellow highlighter, just like if I'd have been at the casino with you guys. Just what an awesome performance from that Ohio State defense. I said a couple weeks ago that I thought, maybe not right out of the rip, but I thought maybe this Ohio State defense, even losing 8 starters and all the leadership, I thought maybe this defense would be better this year than it was last year. Definitely that back seven. And I'll tell you what, that back seven was awesome yesterday. Arch Manning had no open receivers to throw to at all.
So I, like you, Ryan, like to take pages of notes.
I love it.
Most of mine are betting notes. However, I wrote down probably 5 times in my notes, back seven. This back seven. And you're right. This defense was spectacular. The way they made the Heisman Trophy favorite look like he was lost all game. And he had 35 passing yards through 3 quarters. It was comical. And it's not like you were dealing with crazy wind and rain and all this stuff. These numbers were insanely good for this Ohio State defense. And the way they came out was terrific. I loved the game plan. I really do. And offensively, it was like, we're not going to make a mistake. We're not going to beat ourselves. And we're going to manage this game. And so Julian Sayin, who I've mentioned it multiple times this morning, going up against a number 1 team in your first ever career start, on the other side of the field, you got a quarterback that's so hyped up. But for him to come in so cool, calm, and collected, and his numbers aren't amazing. They don't jump out at you.
No.
However, there were several drops early, and he threw so many balls that were on the money, and there was never a time where it was like a really bad decision was made. Because we were talking about this before the game. It was like, this game is probably going to hinge on 1 or 2 plays, probably 1 or 2 mistakes that are made in the game, and that's probably going to be the difference.
And Ryan Day, multiple times leading up to this game, said you got to play clean. You got to play clean. And listen, Julian Sayin in his first start, I think that was in his head, because there were a couple times I thought Julian, being there at the stadium and seeing everything unfold, I thought he could have let it rip. But obviously a first-time start against that team, don't make a mistake, and he didn't. But Ryan kept saying, play clean, play clean, play clean. And Texas did not play clean, and that was ultimately the difference in the game. A couple of personal foul penalties, some bad penalties, interception from Arch on the Jermaine Matthews play, a great play from Jermaine Matthews, almost another interception. Again, a great play by Jermaine Matthews. I love number 7.
Yeah.
I've said it for a while. I love that dude. I fell in love with him watching him play a state championship for Winton Woods. I knew when he got this opportunity that he was going to make the most of it. I love the swagger from him and Davison Igbinosun and even Devin Sanchez, the freshman, getting on the field. The back seven was just so good.
So on the last show on the money, we have this new categories thing where we decide who won the day. And I think almost everybody would say Matt Patricia won the day as far as the game plan that he came up with the defense to stop Texas. And Texas didn't score a point until 56 minutes into the game. So we all
it's
said
even
that
questionable right on their one because that was close. It was right in front of us, and it was hard to see.
And it was also a questionable moment when you had an interception that was overturned in the fourth quarter. Would Texas have even had an opportunity at that point? But and again, we're taking your calls. 614-821-9710. In fact, some of our calls today, some of our best calls are going to win passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I saw a Hall of Famer yesterday, Orlando Pace, on set at the
right
fan tailgate show. Very cool. Came on the show for a little while. Awesome dude. But as far as I'm curious who Buckeye fans feel like won the day, because I think a lot of people will say Matt Patricia, but I think you could make the argument for Matthews. I think you could make the argument for Tate with his catch in the end zone. I think you could make the argument for
Arvell Reese.
Yeah, there's so many
Caden
guys.
McDonald.
And Julian Sand. I think you could make the case for a lot of different guys. I gave it to Patricia, but I think there's a lot of open interpretation for that.
Well, let's start to hear from the people. 614-821-9710 again is the number to call. Let's head out. Chase, you were our first caller today. You'll lead us off here on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning, Chase.
Good morning. I just want to say the entire defense played unreal, but Matthews definitely stood out to me. Not only with the interception, but setting up the tip and should have been, but it did get overturned. Other INT. Matt Patricia, everybody did a fantastic job. It was great to see only giving up 7 points and arguably shouldn't have even had those 7.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Chase. And it's hard to argue, right, with that performance holding Texas to 7 points. And I thought it was interesting with Matt Patricia, Scotty, something we haven't seen, and I tried to pay attention to who was coming in and out of the game. Ohio State really didn't substitute a lot. They substituted, but it was the same people all the time. Like, we didn't see a bunch of people in this game. When it was passing downs for Texas, 3 defensive ends, 2 linebackers, 6 DBs, and that 6th DB we talked about was Devin Sanchez, the true freshman.
Yeah.
Interesting looks from Patricia all day.
And that was the thing, too, right? I mean, and the defensive players kind of talked about it after the game, just the different things that Matt Patricia comes up with. And I've talked about this a couple times, where the biggest concern, we talked about the biggest question marks coming into the season, and a lot of people said the new coordinators, right? And the fear of you just lost Jim Knowles and you're going to Matt Patricia. That was kind of the biggest question mark, one of the big question marks. And I'll tell you what, I know it was only week 1, but boy, did he pass that test in week 1.
It sure did look good. Let's head back out to those phone lines. Let's go to Gino. Hey, Gino, good morning. Thanks for calling us on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, guys. It's a great day in Columbus, amen?
You ain't kidding.
But what I wanted to say is, man, I think that C.J. Donaldson, man, I'm really glad we got him out of the portal. We needed him. I mean, I think it's a nice 1-2 punch. I'd like to see some better holes, but I do like him a lot, and I'm thankful we got him. And by the way, I think that our DC is definitely an upgrade. How you like that there, what's his name? I'm trying to forget.
Forget it, right? He's at Penn State. Forget it. We don't care. Jim Knowles.
That's going to be a great game. Do you guys have any idea what time that one is? That going to be a nooner?
Penn State?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, every indication is that is going to be a noon game. In fact, Ross Bjork had an interview and kind of hinted at that will be a noon game on Fox as well.
Yeah, it sure seems like the way that everything has broken down there that will be a noon game. Speaking of Ross Bjork, I got to go up to him right after the game, shake his hand, say great win, because he was right down there on the field right next to us. Actually, him and Tony Petitti, right when that touchdown happened for Texas, we were down there on about the 10-yard line, right in the corner of the end zone where that was. Him and Petitti were right in front of us, standing there talking yesterday. It was pretty interesting for sure.
It's funny you mention that because when we think of Texas, it still takes a minute for me to think of that this was a Big Ten SEC matchup.
Yeah, it is. It's really
But
weird.
it is, right? And you look at it, and the two teams that are favored now to win the national championship are Ohio State and Penn State. They're co-favorites at 6-1. And then you had two SEC powerhouses. Alabama also lose yesterday. Now, LSU had a nice win, but the SEC, not a great day.
Real quick, I want to go back to something that Gino was talking about. He said he'd like to see the holes on the offensive line a little bigger. Give Texas a lot of credit, and I don't know if you could see it watching on the TV. I haven't gone back and watched the game, but being there and being up high, you could see there were a couple times there were some pretty big holes blown open by that Ohio State offensive line. That Texas defense is so fast, they just shut really quick. And I think that's why C.J. Donaldson had the better day at running back yesterday, and neither of them had great days, to be honest. But CJ's more of a straight-ahead guy. The one thing I noticed with James Peoples, he has a side-to-side or a jump cut that is so daggone quick, and he kind of relies on that. But when those holes close like that so fast, it was hard for him. If CJ maybe had or James Peoples maybe had a little more of that straight ahead yesterday, he would have been a little more successful. But there were holes being made by the offensive line. The Texas defense, kind of like Ohio State, is just so fast, they closed really quickly.
That's a really good point because, you know what, people forget about just how much talent is on that Texas defense. That is a great defense. And we'll see Texas. Like, Texas fell a little bit in the odds, but Texas is an absolute contender to still win the national championship.
And listen, I walked out of that game yesterday. I had two thoughts when I left. God, Ohio State's defense is really good. And I still think Texas is probably the second best team in the country. Like, I think Ohio State, and I didn't watch Penn State against Nevada, so I don't know. After yesterday, I do feel Ohio State is the most talented team in the country, and I think Texas is number two. Those were the two thoughts I got coming out of that game.
Fair.
614-821-9710 is the number to call. Travis, I see you're on the line. Hang on, man. We will get to you first right after the break. It's the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Get Eco.
Aaron, what's your favorite holiday? Labor Day. No, really. What's your favorite holiday? Labor Day?
Get Eco.
Labor Day is when we celebrate the working people of America.
Like plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians?
Sure, but we're also celebrating nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, school teachers, landscapers, and those people who faithfully pick up our garbage on trash day.
And waiters and waitresses?
And car mechanics and...
And daycare workers. We can't leave out daycare workers. Hooray for Labor Day!
Jerry, when you look at working people, what do you see?
I see the people who built America.
I see love.
Love?
Love with its sleeves rolled up.
Wow. Working people are the people who take care of everybody.
Labor Day is when we celebrate the working people who built America and keep it strong.
Happy Labor Day, everyone.
GetEco at GetEco.com.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast for today. Plenty of sunshine and highs around the upper 70s. For tomorrow, here on your Labor Day Monday, we're tracking more sunshine and highs around 80 degrees. We'll keep that going here on Tuesday with highs into the low 80s and more sunshine in the forecast. But we are tracking showers and storms here by Wednesday into Thursday, but also cooler temperatures. Highs are back in the 60s and 70s here for Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
The Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The show that allows you, the sports fan, to be the star.
That is right. We want you to be the star. 614-821-9710 is the number to call. You can always interact with us on the Fans YouTube as well. Scotty, let's head right back out to those phone lines. Let's go to Travis. Travis has been waiting for a while. Travis, thank you for holding. Good morning. You are on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, guys. Love the show. Awesome win yesterday.
Yes,
I just want to say there's a lot of people we give the day to. But I'm going to be a little cliche. I got to give it to the old ball coach, Coach Day, to go out and lose both coordinators, get Matt Patricia, promote Brian Hartline back, and give him the keys to that offense. and to keep old Julian under cool as a cucumber in that atmosphere with that game against number one. Hey, Coach Dave's my man yesterday.
You know what? I couldn't agree more, Travis. Hey, let's hook up Travis with a pair of passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we got more to give away. One of the things, I got a lot of messages from people that, gosh, this is a Tressel style football game, right? Where the Ohio State plan is we're not going to make any mistakes. We're not going to beat ourselves. And we're going to be smart, and we're going to let Texas make the mistakes. Mm-hmm. And Texas made the mistakes, and Texas didn't capitalize on the goal line, right? They had opportunities, and it's funny because a lot of criticism is going to Sark this morning about the calls in the red zone. And I thought one of the key plays in this thing was Ohio State. First, they get the goal line stop, which was amazing to keep it 7-0. But then to kind of, because a lot of times you're stuck at the half-yard line, you're going to have a lot of trouble getting it out of there. And Ohio State was able to get a punt off and get it to about the 50.
They got it up to about the 9-yard line and gave the punter room.
Correct.
A decent punt.
And that was such a crucial part of the field position, because a lot of times if you're not getting any yardage out of that, then Texas is probably getting the ball at the 30 and already in field goal range. And at that point, the game was only 7-0. So I thought that was huge. I give a lot of credit to what Travis said about the coaching and the game plan going into this game, not letting a first time, Julian saying first career start, not letting that overwhelm him, and he looked comfortable.
Going into last season, Ryan Day's record against top 5 teams was not great. And I know Tennessee wasn't a top 5 team, but this run, the last 5 games, right? I think Tennessee was number 7. In the college football playoff, they were
9.
seeded 9.
Yeah.
But I think they were ranked 7th at the time. Tennessee, tick. Oregon, tick.
Who was number 1?
Texas, tick, who I believe was number 3 or 5. Notre Dame, tick, who was 3 or 5 the other way of Texas. I'm the number 1 Texas, tick. I mean, this 5-game run that Ohio State has had here, pretty damn impressive.
And next is Grambling.
Here we go. Here we go. They outside of Ohio State, they might have the best band. So that's
there you go.
That's pretty impressive. Let's head back
will fight you on that.
Let's head back out to those phone lines. Well, you get them the following week. So let's head back out to those phone lines. Let's go to Mick. Hey, Mick, thanks for calling the Fan Call-In Show. What do you got for us?
Hey, thanks. Great show. I want to talk about the crowd. Yesterday, and everybody's talking about how big the crowd was. Well, I was at the Notre Dame-Ohio State game in 95, and there were more people outside than there were in the stands. That's how big the crowd was.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 95. That was the first time they played Notre Dame in over 40 years. And the Buckeyes were 0-2 versus Notre Dame. Now they've won 7 in a row since that game in 95. So that's what I've got to say.
That's pretty impressive. Thank you, Mick, for the call. And so the crowd yesterday, Scotty, and I think sometimes when you're in the press box, it's kind of hard to judge it. What I will say is when I was on the field pregame, the crowd was great. And obviously they were out in force, tailgating, getting ready for it all day. And we saw it start to pick up on Friday. People like just the buzz coming around, people getting things set up. You were down there, 6 yesterday?
Yeah.
I was down there at 7. When I got down there at 7, there were people everywhere already. And, I mean, it was strong. 107,524 inside the shoe yesterday. So pregame, it was loud. And I can tell you this. We went back down to the field with about 6 minutes left. It was deafening when we were down there. Now, I know that was a key part of the game. Texas was trying to get back into it. There were some times early in the game in the press box I thought, man, I can't tell if the crowd is really in this. You knew, like in key moments, on 3rd down, 4th down, the crowd was obviously up and you could hear it. But there were some times early I was questioning, is the crowd really into this? But when I was down on the field at the end, the crowd was definitely doing its job.
Love that. And again, I was down on campus, and then I went to the casino to watch, and then I watched the Fox broadcast,
Which I'm sure the crowd at the casino was great.
It was so much fun. But I give credit too, because I thought the Scarlet Out was really cool to see on TV, and that was a cool thing. You're right; people were down there so early. I mentioned it multiple times this morning. It's the craziest crowd that I've seen in 15 years of going to every single home game on campus, being down on campus. The buzz was unlike anything I've seen in the 15 years I've been working those. It was electric. Yeah, it was great. And, the other thing is we spent months complaining about it being a noon game. And then ultimately on game day, we got to noon. And I'm like, I love that this is a noon game because it just felt right. You had the sun shining. The temperature was perfect. It was perfect. It was the perfect day in Columbus, Ohio. It really was.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not one who complains about noon games. I do think Ohio State and Texas is a marquee primetime matchup. I would have loved that if that was at night yesterday. But here's the fact of the matter. When Ohio State plays Texas, you could do it at 5 a.m. Yeah. It wouldn't matter.
Everyone was watching.
The crowd would be electric. Everybody would be involved. Let's head back out to those phone lines. Again, the number 614-821-9710. Let's go to Greg. Greg, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, guys. Two teams that really disappointed me yesterday, and I had money on them both, was Boise State and Clemson. The real dagger was Clemson. I had two parlays that would have paid almost $4,000 if they would have just won. But if teams were stocks, who would you guys be buying and who would you be selling after this past week?
Thanks for the call, Greg. Really appreciate it. That Boise State score was kind of eye-opening to me. Clemson, listen, that game yesterday is two really good teams. I was super impressed with the LSU offensive line and the way they played in that. I still think Clemson is okay, Scotty, but we do have to have a conversation, I believe, about Cade Klubnik and when talent is equal on the field, if he is good enough. I think he is a good college quarterback, but I don't know if when talent is equal, he can get his teams over the hump. We've got the Georgia game last year to start the year, Texas at the end of last year, and now this LSU game. I think both of those teams, again, kind of like Ohio State and Texas, I think both of those teams are really good, and I was really impressed with both of them coming away from that game. However, I do think there are maybe more questions, to me at least. Maybe not everybody. Maybe everybody else had them. But to me, I have to question Cade Klubnik a little bit coming out of that game.
Absolutely you do. And Clemson's in a situation where, look, I think they're probably still the best team in the ACC. Look, Florida State looked good. But the question, and it was a great question by Greg, the teams that you would buy or sell after week one. Here's three that I wrote down as far as buy. Utah in the Big 12, to me, I think is going to be the team to beat. Yep. After watching them last night against UCLA, and I love the coach. I love what they've got at Utah. So I would buy Utah to win the Big 12 at this point. I like Florida State now way more than I ever thought that I would. In fact, they killed a parlay for me that you mentioned thousands. This was a parlay killer of thousands for me of Florida State beating Alabama. I just had Bama on the money line. But Florida State is a team I would buy in. And then Oklahoma is another team that I would buy stock in. I'm selling Alabama. And part of the reason I'm selling Alabama is because of their schedule that's coming up. Their schedule is absolutely brutal. I see them as at best 8-4 team now. So that's who I'm selling.
So being at the game, I didn't see a ton of college football outside of Ohio State, the end of Florida State, Alabama, and then Clemson, LSU last night. I'm definitely buying stock in Oklahoma. I kind of was before the season. I said the other day, I think Utah wins the Big 12. I think Utah definitely buy stock in Utah for sure there. And listen, all of those other teams, I still think it's okay. I would still buy stock in Clemson. I'd buy more stock in LSU than I would have before now. And I think Alabama, that wasn't great yesterday. First time starting quarterback against an experienced starting quarterback. Listen, I think Alabama is exactly what they were last year, like a 9-3 team. And I thought that going in. So I guess I'm just kind of the same on them. 614-821-9710 is the number to call. I see a lot of you on the lines. We will get to you coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Our double hung is as good as it gets. There's something really simple. It's called an interlock. We interlock our windows. The interlock is the absolute best way to alleviate air infiltration. With the interlock, it's harder to break into. When you interlock the sashes, it makes a better window. It's just a darn good window, and we're very proud of it.
Call Rizzotti today at 777-4806.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the Fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Back to the show of the fans, by the fans, and for these crazy fans. The Fan Call-In Show. Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wow, the phone lines are going crazy. A lot of you want to talk about that big Buckeye win yesterday. 614-821-9710 is the number. We have another pair or two of Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes to give away. And as always, a big thanks to the ESPN Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino for putting on the Fan Call-In Show. Let's get right back to those phone lines. Let's go out to line 3 and Jeremiah. Jeremiah, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, fellas. Just got a couple things for you here. First of all, it's always a good Saturday when Clemson and Alabama lose.
Yes, sir.
And I could not say how happy I am of the game that those two coordinators called in their first one. Patricia and Hartline, especially the Hartline, I thought it was outstanding. Just showed how great hire that they had and great moving up Hartline. He's paid his dues, and you can tell that he's learned behind some good ones.
Thanks for the call. Listen, I think people are probably surprised with the offensive game plan that Ohio State came up with and that Brian Hartline called. I think people thought maybe Ohio State was going to open it up a little more. And again, credit to Texas's defense. We don't want to take anything away from that Texas defense because they're very good. They are very fast. But man, Matt Patricia, to me, just the defense he called yesterday, the things they did. And look, even with that, I don't think Matt Patricia can do what he can do without Caleb Downs on that field directing traffic, especially in that secondary. Caleb Downs was like a quarterback yesterday, getting everybody lined up. But yeah, for two brand new coordinators to have that performance yesterday. Very impressive.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jeremiah. Very good call. And look, it kind of reminds me a little bit of 2023 when Ohio State played at South Bend and you had a really low scoring defensive battle, right? And Ryan Day kind of, as far as the offense go, kept it relatively conservative. And look, I think it was just a brilliant game plan. When you have that a first-time starter, look, we look across the board, across the country of quarterbacks that were making their first start, and there were so many struggles. And they didn't ask Julian to go out and win this game. You know, they asked him to go out and manage this game, and he did a great job with it.
Robert, you're next on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, guys. You know what? You've been talking about it. I question it too. Why didn't Ryan Day open up the offense a little bit more? I think he threw one long pass in the beginning in the first half. But yeah, I mean, I thought he would go downfield, a few more times. And as far as the defense goes, they played excellent. But God dang, get a little pressure on Arch Manning, right? Pressure him. He would have folded. But that's it. Appreciate you guys.
That's interesting take there. And I don't know if he would have folded, quite frankly. But they did not. And I have that highlighted in my notes. I had two things highlighted about the defense. One, that Arch had nobody open to throw to. And that was more impressive to me because they really weren't getting pressure on him. That is something that, and I don't know if it's a scheme where they're not scheming to bring more guys, more blitzes. Maybe they just wanted to cover yesterday. But Arch had a lot of time to throw.
I was a tad worried about if Arch got loose running the ball a little bit, and they kept that contained. You know what? Like OSU obviously shut down the passing game. And so my fear was, okay, there was a couple times where I thought Arch was going to take off and run and didn't really pick up anything major on the ground either. So I think that may have been a factor in it as well. But again, really good call.
Let's head back out to those phone lines. Again, 614-821-9710 is the number to call. We're going to go to line one. And Bobby, good morning. Thanks for calling the Fan Call-In Show.
Morning, guys. So I kind of wanted to talk about the on that first scoring Texas, only, of course, scoring Texas drive. There was that interception that got overturned due to the question of control and contact with the ground. But then we had almost the exact same situation kind of play out during that touchdown pass, but it was upheld. So what do we think about that idea of having two kind of calls that were back-to-back almost in the same drive where one goes one way and one kind of goes the other? For me, I don't really mind if it goes both are incomplete or both are complete, but to me there's that idea of precedent.
Bobby, you're going to the Hall of Fame. We've got Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and you just won a pair, and we'll get your information. I'll tell you what, I am 100% done with trying to guess what is going on in instant replay officials' brains. It just year after year after year, we guess how this is going to play out, and it never makes sense. You're absolutely correct. Those two plays, both could have gone either way. I could have seen the argument one way or the other, but I would have thought that there would have been a little consistency. And there wasn't. So I'm done thinking of anything with replay officials.
So I think with this, and this is just me kind of looking at the replays, and I was still up in the press box for the Sonny Styles diving off the Jermaine Matthews tip. That was, I think it's an optics thing. So this is I see it on the TV. The other one I saw replays from up on the scoreboard. But the Sonny Styles one, the ball wasn't in his hands, right? It went through his hands and into his arms. And I think it's the optics of that looks like he doesn't have control. The other one, the receiver got in his hands, and as he was going to the ground, he kind of bobbled it a little bit. But when he got to the ground, his arm, and even though it wasn't in his hand, it was on his forearm, and the camera was right there. You could kind of see it, that the ball was on his forearm, and he had the other hand. I thought when he rolled, his other hand kind of moved the ball a little bit, and I thought maybe that wiggle of the ball, they would say He didn't have control, but I think because the forearm was under there, they still gave it to him. I think it's just an optics type thing in the way it looked.
Yeah, and I get it. And I was actually okay with the interception being ruled incomplete, of course. And then, but I thought the touchdown at the end could have easily been ruled incomplete.
Let's get one more call in this segment. Let's go to Steven. Steven, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, good morning. Yes, love your show. Really glad to be on. Two quick things. First, very glad for the win. We needed that just to start the season, a strong win. But I really think that the run game, first of all, nonstop runs up the middle. I would have liked to have seen some runs on the corners just to see how we do with, a little bit of diversity around the corners, around the tackles, instead of always going up the middle through the tackles. Secondly, like you said, there was no defensive line pressure. The pressure came from a few from the linebackers and the corners. We need that line to get pressure on the quarterback every game. Okay, that's what I wanted to see.
Thank you for the call, Steven. Let me talk about those both quick here before you go, Scotty. I mentioned that Texas defensive line, or the Texas defense as a whole. They're really fast. There were some holes. They closed quick. I don't know about running side to side or going outside, if that would be effective against either of those defenses yesterday, quite frankly, with the speed they have. And then on the defensive line pressure, there was not enough. I agree. Arch had too much time to throw, but I will say at the end on that last play, C.J. Hicks did finally get to him from that defensive end, and he got that ball out quick, and Caleb Downs was right there to make the play. I would like to see more pressure, though, on the quarterback.
Yeah, two quick things. So one for me is we got to remember this is week one. Right? Yep, this is week one, and this is going to be a completely different team going forward, right? Both of these teams are still elite of the elite teams. The other thing is we talk about pressure, and sure, we all want pressure. Look, Arch Manning, the Heisman Trophy favorites numbers going into the fourth quarter, 9 of 15 for 38 yards. Entering the fourth quarter. And then they were behind and they threw the ball and they had a little success with that.
They also changed tempo. They went up tempo and they had their best offense there going up tempo.
And oh, by the way, it could have been 2 interceptions, right? Like Correct. It was very close. It came down to the replay official. And then at that point, you're probably shutting them out. And oh, by the way, the one touchdown they had was very close to being ruled incomplete on a fourth down and not scoring either. So,
we can perfection, Scotty.
We can nitpick that. Oh, we want some more pressure on the quarterback. However, if you had told me that Arch Manning was 9 of 15 for 38 yards heading in to that fourth quarter, I'd say, I don't care what kind of pressure you put on him.
And it could have also been a thing, too, where they respect Arch's legs so much that they were like,
I do believe that.
If we bring too many people, that means he's going to get by some people. And that's another thing we haven't talked about yet. I think Ohio State yesterday, maybe 2 tackles missed all day.
You're right.
The tackling was really good, and some of those were open field, one-on-one tackles where it could have became a little bit of a chunk play, but the Ohio State made the tackle every time. We're going to take our final timeout of the call-in show. Justin, Adrian, hang on the line. We want to talk to you next. It's the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin, lease 2 Elantras for $200. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $200 a month for 24 months. Both your new Elantras come with complimentary Hyundai maintenance, with free oil changes and tire rotations for your entire lease. GLakesHyundaiofDublin.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes, fees, first month payment, and 10 miles per year. In time too.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lennox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, Expert Care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com. Here, Heart Care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
It's the Ford Labor Day lease event at Valley. All brand new 2025s. Mustang, EcoBoost, and Mach-E. Escape Active, Bronco Sport. Your pick, just $399 a month. F-150 STX, Explorer Active, Bronco Big Bend, and Mustang GT. Now, only $499 a month. Every Valley lease is for 36 months with zero down and a 2-year premium maintenance plan included. Hurry, these deals end Monday at Valley Ford of Columbus in Hilliard. Open Labor Day 11 till 4.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Ever want to be a radio star?
It's all about the radio.
Or at least hear your voice on the air?
The radio's all yours now.
This is the show for you. This is the Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Final segment of this week's call-in show. A big thanks to everybody who's called and chimed in on the YouTube chat as well. Just a reminder, with the NFL starting next week and the Fan being the home of the Cleveland Browns, the Fan call-in show will be moving to 8 a.m. Woo! So we still want to hear from you. We still want to hear your Buckeye takes, but we'll just be a little earlier, 8 a.m. for the Fan call-in show starting next week.
I can't wait for it, actually, because we'll at 8 a.m. be so fresh to talk about that Grambling win and to preview Browns-Bengals next weekend. Because you and I are going to go out to Hollywood Casino. We're going to watch the Browns-Bengals game together. We're going to throw a little party. We're going to give things away, including Hall of Fame passes. And guess what? This segment, we're going to give away more Pro Football Hall of Fame passes.
Well, let's quit talking and get to the calls because we've got 4 of them here. Let's head out to the line. Let's go to Justin. Good morning, Justin. You're on the Fan call-in show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Buckeye fans. I feel like I hit the lottery. I was blessed to be at the game yesterday, and the atmosphere was absolutely juiced. The one thing that I took away from the game is that we looked like the defending national champions. We started the season with a heavyweight prize fight, and we look like the champions, especially on the defensive line and the offensive line in the trenches, where the national pundits were saying there was going to be a letdown on the defensive line. How awesome were those stops in the 4th and 1 and on the goal line? That atmosphere was absolutely juiced. And it also showed on the offensive line on the short yardage with the C.J. Donaldson carry, into the end zone. And years past, we had problems in the short yardage, and the offensive line looks like a carryover from that championship run. With the pressure, you got to keep in mind that, Arch Manning is a shifty kid. I mean, he can move. He's one of the best running quarterbacks I've ever seen.
Yep.
And Steve Sarkisian's whole game is screens. So if you're flooding one side or you get through and it's to the other side, you're going to give up a big play.
Justin, thanks so much for the call. Sorry, we'll give you some Hall of Fame passes here.
So well said, by the way.
Yeah, very
excellent comments around.
Very, for sure. And listen, I loved on that short yardage that Ohio State got under center, went 3 tight ends, and put the ball in the end zone. Let's head out to Adrian now. Adrian, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning. I was at the game yesterday as well, yelling and screaming throughout all 4 quarters. But the one thing I want to say is, going into the game, they had in the news, they had the traditions evolved going into the atmosphere for Ohio Stadium. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of a doubter in the whole, how can you mess with the tradition of the shoe? But I will be the first to say that I think those changes are a welcome change. I had an absolute blast, having the band on the north end mic'd up throughout the whole stadium, just making their noise and songs, and then the south section, having all the students on the south end, having the OHIO going around the stadium, and you have 25, 30,000 students on that south side, all 100% unison, making the O above their head. It was an amazing sight, and I'm not surprised, if the Longhorn players weren't intimidated by that at all.
Good call, Aiden. And it's important to keep things fresh, right? I mean, even for the fans, even for the traditions, let's continue to build. And I thought the Scarlet Out looked terrific on TV. Good call, Adrian. Hey, let's get out to Ken. Ken, you're on line 1. Welcome to the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. I was out at the game as well, and I just want to say Buckeye Nation deserves a game ball. My God, I've been to a lot of games, and it would be hard-pressed for me to remember a game that was that loud, electric from start to finish. And I think that added to the confusion of Arch Manning, to be honest. And also want to say that I'm not sure we win that game if Jim Knowles was the defensive coordinator. I think Matt Patricia just did an excellent job confusing him. And you talk about the back 7. They were fantastic, but the defensive line, although they didn't flash, they held their ground, and that allowed the back 7 to do their thing. and man, did they ever.
Yeah, Ken, great call. The back seven, it was phenomenal yesterday, especially if you were there to watch it all. Our final call of the day, let's head out to line 3 and Grayson. Grayson, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey there, guys. Still a little hoarse from being there in the shoe yesterday, but I just had a couple of questions basing off these early season judgments. The first being about Julian Sand, what you guys thought about his poise and performance. You know, obviously you see a lot of different things on social media. And the second being about Arch Manning. You know, his Heisman odds, rather, have fallen ever since yesterday. What do you guys think about that as well, based off those first game of the season, early season judgments?
I think it's hard to, and thanks for the call, Grayson. I think it's hard to have any complaints with Julian, right? I mean, he beat the number 1 team in the country in his first start. The only thing I would say about Julian, and listen, it's his first start, a great defense, just trust your read and rip it. I think there was a couple times he just kind of held on to it and questioned himself a little bit. Even on the touchdown pass to Carnell, if he just throws it when he sees it and throws it like he did, he hits Carnell in stride, but he waited in a second. Then Carnell had to wait and make a great catch over the defender. On Arch Manning, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if Arch Manning is as good as the hype or not. I have no clue. I would not judge him by yesterday because he had no open receivers to throw to.
Okay, so quickly on the poise for Julian, absolutely terrific. Remember, there were 3 drops. 3 drops early, 2 by Jeremiah and 1 by Max Clare. The Clare one would have kept that opening drive going. It was 4th down. The other one is you asked about the Arch Manning Heisman odds. He's now 18-1. That's 10th best in Heisman odds.
Thanks so much. The Call-In Show moving to 8 next week. Reds baseball next.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks, trusted neighborhood